Hey guys, welcome back to the Brook Trout Homestead. Today I'm going to go over the process of changing out your wood stove gasket, and I'll explain what that is. All right, so here's our wood stove. This is the model that we have is a Highlander, as you can see right there. But over this past winter, we've been using this a lot. And this was a used stove that we got from my mother. So you may be wondering why you're already replacing the gasket. Well, that's why. So what exactly is the gasket? Well, let me open it up. So here is the door. I'm going to show you a picture of what the gasket looked like right here. As you can tell, the gasket's all falling off at the top and on the sides and everything. So we had to kind of take that off. And this is what it looked like after I took it off. So as you can tell, it has a lot of stuff still left on it and everything. And what the gasket does, it kind of seals the heat into the stove so that way you get better heat into the box. So I'm just going to take you through the steps of, replacing that. As I said, I already took off the gasket, which is like a rope, and I will post a link in the description of the rope that I used in this. But the first step, of course, is taking the rope off, which was easy for us. The second step is going to be taking the door off of your stove, which right here is the hinges. And these are just like door hinges. So basically you could just lift up this whole door and it will come off. So like I said, all you got to do is open it and then just pull up. Boom. Comes right off. So as you can tell right here is the heat resistant cement that was on there that was used. I want to show you kind of the cleaning process that I've been doing along the edge here, trying to get that off. It's actually relatively easy. So give me a second. So what I've been doing is just using my flathead and just scraping like that. See? So that's what I've been doing all along the edges here and here, because you want to get a nice clean thing there so that when you apply your new cement to it, you have a really good bond on it. So I'm going to continue scraping this along here and all the way around because I still have all this to do right here. So I'm going to continue to scrape that real quick, and then once I get that done, I'll show you the finished product. All right, so now I got everything scraped the best that I can, as you can tell. So the next step I'm going to do is apply the heat resistant stove gasket cement. And again, these links will be in the description on what we used and everything. So I'm about to apply that now and then apply the gasket. All right, so as I said, I have it all cleaned and prepped and ready. Now the important part is right here where I'm pointing, to make sure you measure that out so you can buy the proper gasket size. I actually ended up buying 2 of the wrong gaskets. So this one right here is the correct size, which is 5/8 of an inch. I was just making sure it fit properly. Here is the stove gasket cement that I was talking about. I'm going to apply a bead all along the edge. You want a nice smooth bead all the way around, unlike that big glop that I just threw on there. But you want to try to make it as smooth around it as possible. And this is actually my second one to put on because the first one was too big. So I've used up some of the cement. So I'm having to be kind of frugal with how I'm using it here along the edge. Okay, so now I'm applying the actual gasket around the edge here. Again, this is the 5/8 gasket size for the stove. Now I'm trying to make sure I apply good pressure all along the edge. That way it gets a good connection with the cement and also with the rope there. Now a step I did forget to mention was you need to have a damp cloth and wipe all around the edges where the cement's going to be. The moisture helps seal that cement in very well. Now this area is very hard. I kind of struggled with going around the lock of it, but you just have to make sure you press it real firmly in there. That way it doesn't move on you. And here I come around to the end. Now it's important for you not to cut the gasket until you have it all the way around. Again, one of the ones I did before this, I cut too short and messed up. So here I'm actually cutting it to size with my knife. You can use a knife, you can use scissors, whichever you think is best for you. I was struggling to cut it just due to the fact that there was a dip in the edge right there, so I wasn't able to get the blade the way I needed to. So excuse me on that. Now the frayed edges is not a huge ordeal. If you want, you can buy heat resistant tape and tape all around that and then push it in there, but that may cause a lack of a seal to go right there. Again, I'm just pressing firmly all around to make sure it's firmly in the cement before I put it on the stove. So your next step is to rehang the door on the hinge. And I began to repress the seal around it to make sure it's nice and flat, so that way I can close the door properly. As you'll see here in a little bit, I do struggle to get it closed, but I believe that's because it's a newer gasket and it's not flat yet. So I had to put a little oomph on it to actually get it closed. Now, once you do get it closed and get that good seal all around the door with the gasket, you're going to want to reopen the door and allow the cement to dry for 1 hour. Now, after it dries for 1 hour, you have to get a fire going within the next 30 days up to 500 degrees to cure the cement. And after that, your gasket should be well and good and ready to keep burning in. God bless.